of Tabletop podcast. That's what I said. Hi, I'm Arian Dutchmogul Croft.
And I'm Jeremy.
And you're listening to the Legends of Tabletop podcast.
Excellent. And this is Leah Bond, and I'm very glad to have you gentlemen here with me today. Could you tell us a little bit about Ill-Gotten Games?
Yeah, we are an open source 3D print and play gaming company, I guess. We basically, for the most part, we make designs and share designs that people can print on home printers, like MakerBot or PrinterBot, things like that. Yeah, that's in a nutshell is what we do. We make war games, board games, tabletop RPGs like these ones here, which don't require any 3D printing at all, but it never hurts. So.
Absolutely not. That doesn't hurt at all. So you do have, I did notice that you had a Kickstarter a while back for a card game. And are those the printed rule books that go along with the card game? Yeah,
we don't have a card game per se. We have a tabletop war game and an RPG, which is this one here, the Hands of Destiny, which
I'll hold it closer.
Oh, thanks. Which use playing cards, like regular playing cards.
Oh, okay. That was my confusion, was the regular playing cards with
the cards are the randomizer as opposed to a die or dice.
Yeah, which is nothing like super new, but we kind of feel like the way we did it is pretty new. But yeah, I mean, everything we make, we try to make it so that if you have access to all the parts, you can just kind of do it yourself. There's nothing like proprietary that you need, like special cards or special like dice or special
toys, or you can use any model,
that's
any genre.
That's kind of our MO. Not that we're averse to working on card games. We actually do have a card game in the works that a friend of ours is developing. We're probably going to be kickstarting pretty soon.
I hope so. We sort of promised him we would.
Yeah. So that's probably coming pretty soon. Yeah.
Man, now I see on the table in front of you some of, what is it? The Starchitecture.
Oh yeah. These guys right here.
Yeah, that is so cool. That's a wonderful design there.
Thanks.
And the little dudes that are on top are homegrown as well.
Yeah. All the stuff here is. We really liked this was a fun little Kickstarter because we worked with Voodoo Manufacturing. They have something like 150 printers.
I think even more. I think like 200.
More than that, based out of New York. And we basically just made the designs, and they printed them and sent them out to people as they were ordered. But yeah, we just wanted to do something sort of stackable where we could, make it so it got bigger and bigger. And
yeah, that was my next question. Is like, it looks like they're modular, and then you can remove the layers.
If you can see kind of in there's little stairs and things.
Mm-hmm.
Little hex pieces.
Floor flavor.
Little like futuristic sci-fi floor pattern. And yeah, I mean, we got it so you can kind of like, if you just, the more you make, you can just make a taller and taller building or spread them out, across the cityscape or yeah. Now this is in 15 millimeter scale, which is like, it's pretty hardcore basement nerd stuff,
Which is fitting because I print most of it in basement.
Yeah, that is. Yeah. 28 millimeter stuff is obviously, more common, but we really like 15 millimeter for the 3D printing stuff, just because you can get away with so much more on your printer bed. Oh, hey, there we go. Yeah.
Right. What printer do you use?
I had an M3D Micro. It was a gift to me from my brother. He backed the original Kickstarter, so it's a first version of the M3D.
So
I really
5x5?
No, 4x4x4.
Okay. Wow.
That's plenty. I mean,
like you can do this. I mean,
yeah. This would be about as big as you could get.
Yeah. I have already just a couple of your prints and your designs that I've been able to replicate at home. It's nowhere near the quality of the pieces that you have been able to produce. But oh gosh, let's see. The little modular rock wall pieces.
Oh yeah, sure, yeah.
And
we use those more than just about anything.
Yeah.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah. We love those because a lot of the stuff we use is sort of in between this scale and the 28mm scale, and it's kind of like the optimal printing to detail to time ratio.
Yeah.
And we don't even bother painting those, actually. And those are the ones we bring to like our RPG nights. We just toss them in a box, slap them down, like those little rock walls. We'll put them down on the dry erase grid map instead of having to like dry and erase.
That's exactly what we do.
Yeah.
And like with that stuff, if they break, who cares?
I mean, exactly. It doesn't easy to repair or replace. This kind of stuff is for like the fancy game night wargaming where we take all the pictures
or when we go on a fancy video podcast.
Right. But not really. we use that just like color coded. Toss it in a box.
Like, you're playing the blue guys, I'll play the yellow guys.
Yeah.
This is roughly equivalent to what my character looks like, so this is what I've got. So
it's better than playing Pogs out on the table, but not by much.
Yeah.
We have some of those too.
Hey, no Pogs.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I'm not belittling Pogs at all. Pogs are beautiful.
All about your imagination. That's all that matters. So.
Now, just to bust into something that I had spoken of with you a little bit earlier, Arian. I'm drinking some coffee right now. Do you like coffee?
I love coffee. Yeah, big coffee fan.
Who doesn't love coffee?
You might even say I need it, actually.
Well, I'm going to break away for just a moment to bring you a word from one of our sponsors. And as soon as I pull up the copy, I will definitely share this information with you all. Birds of a Feather Coffee Company roasts unique craft coffees in small batches so it's always fresh. Their signature blends showcase the amazing breadth and depth of flavors that coffee has to offer. The Night Owl blend, for instance, is a rich, deep cup of coffee with notes of smooth caramel, decadent cocoa, and bittersweet molasses with just a touch of acidity to clean the palate so you're ready for the next sip. Check out all the Birds coffees and order now at birdscoffeecompany.com. Birds Coffee Company, where there's a brew for every birdie. Migrate the flock down to birdscoffeecompany.com. Thank you very much.
Very welcome.
Yeah, that was a smooth segue.
Yeah,
I really like that. Yeah.
Well,
I'm pretty much talk about coffee, so I don't know.
Yeah. Any time that you need to talk about coffee, I'll talk about coffee.
I greatly appreciate it. Now, let's see, what was I going to move on to? Oh yeah, tell us more about your Patreon, because I have clicked on that tip the creators section on Thingiverse, and it's been very difficult for me to get to that section and make it work. So tell me about Patreon.
Patreon is really cool. We've been using Patreon for a few years. We used it with when I was on a video game podcast, Go for Rainbow, a few years ago. And it's awesome. We have a number of patrons right now, and basically they just say, we want to support you, so we charge on a basically by model or game or whatever basis every time we do a release on Thingiverse or Pinshape or kind of the whole circuit. People get charged whatever they pledge at. And I would like to note, if you are going to pledge, if anyone listening is going to pledge to us, we super appreciate it. Make sure you set a monthly limit that you're comfortable with, though. And we kind of stress that in the description, because we post a lot.
Arian. So basically, any flame mail that you get from being charged a lot because you pledge like $1 a model, it's Arian's fault.
Yeah,
because he posts like 20, 30 things sometimes in a month.
Or more. But the thing is, like, I mean, yeah, you can just say, like, I don't want to pay more than $5, and we appreciate anything.
Oh, yeah. I know.
We appreciate just people using our stuff.
I love it. My favorite thing about making games is when people tell me the stories of the games. I mean, even what happened in game, but mostly what happened around the game.
Yeah.
If that makes any sense at all. I love those stories. Like, oh, we were playing and such happened, and then so and so did this. I love that.
Yeah, we do love hearing stories. Absolutely. Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah, but definitely support us on Patreon. It's awesome. But set a limit.
Hey, you had already pointed that out, and that was a question that I was going to ask you later on, but you had already jumped right to it. Hands of Destiny, it was successfully kickstarted, but I did see that shipping on the rulebook. Now, why did you do that? The ship anywhere in the world?
It's,
I mean,
because there are some people like in Denmark or whatever who
want
it,
who really want the book. I mean, it's expensive.
It's
though.
like $15 to send it to Denmark, but
I'd like it to be available to people. So,
and I mean, it is cool to say that people like all over the world actually they play our games, which is great.
Yeah.
And if they've got $15 to spend on shipping, I will send them a game.
Oh, also financially, we don't know what we're doing.
Oh yeah, no, that's the other aspect of it. Yeah, like
very important distinction.
Yeah, I studied philosophy in college, which I don't know if you're aware isn't really a profitable field, and neither is game design.
It can be.
It can be. I just had seen that briefly on your Kickstarter and was like, ooh.
Well, we know the horror stories. I mean, we didn't get crushed over it because we had to set a limit that was higher than most people would want to pay. But
I mean, like, I feel bad when
because you can't account for every country and how much it's going to cost and all that, and they warn you not to do it, so or to do it that way. So but the game is free, so that's only if you want a
physical copy.
But you could obviously just download the PDF and print it out.
Okay, so Pocket Tactics.
Yeah.
Talk about that. Let's talk about that. Tell me everything.
We love Pocket Tactics. Yeah, Pocket Tactics was the first 3D printable game I made.
First complete.
Complete. Yeah, that was back in like 2000, way back in 2012.
Actually, the very first thing I printed was a Pocket Tactics piece.
That's right. Yeah. And I made it. I designed it in an afternoon because I wanted something like fast that wasn't going to take hours and hours and hours to print. I mean, it still does take like something like 6 to 8 hours.
It depends.
But something that was kind of economical for simplicity of rules and printing time and materials and ease of print. So that's kind of been the goal with Pocket Tactics. It's now on its like
we've ruined that fine vision with some of our versions.
Yeah,
some of our versions got way out of hand.
Yeah, that absolutely happened.
But we're actually working on the more what we had planned it to be initially, which was a simple, fast, tactical game.
It's back to that, I think.
Yeah, I think it's back to
4th edition stuff. Yeah. It's been streamlined quite a bit. That's Pocket Tactics. Basically, to describe the game for anybody listening, it's hex-based modular strategy board game for 2 or more players. And it basically, you have 2 little fantasy forces or sci-fi or mixture or whatever. And you have these little hex tiles which represent like a terrain grid of like forests or hills or mountains and everything. And you shuffle them up into a bag and you kind of build the map in a random generation system each time. And then you move your little pieces around, sort of chess style, in a metered movement and fight kind of method. And
it's good times.
Yeah. We really enjoy it. Yeah.
Okay.
And again, all free. It's
all free.
If you have a 3D printer, you can print literally all of Pocket Tactics.
Yeah, that's right. That's all on Thingiverse.
Yeah. And that's actually what really fascinated me about stumbling across. It's like, oh man, these designs are pretty kick-ass. And oh wait, You are so prolific. Just so many.
Yeah, I do.
All the different, I mean, just the different facets of dungeon design and just doing your maps, and then you've got your terrain and your buildings and so many different objects, and it's so great. And then, yeah, because I mean, you did. It's an ingenious plan that you've implemented here. Then you've managed to offset the manufacturing expenses, that there's no overhead, the storage, the shipping.
Yeah,
you know, I mean,
the ability to just, I mean, for me to be able to just come up with a concept, make a design, and then have like a 3D representation of it within like a couple hours is, you know, I mean, invaluable. I mean, because I'm always moving on to the next idea. Like,
and honestly, this is stuff we would do anyway. I mean, it's just, it's an opportunity, and because of where we're at, technologically speaking, we can share things that we would do anyway with everybody. And if other people like it, rad, that's great.
Yeah.
And if they want to add to it, that's even better.
Yeah, I love the sharing aspect of the community. The sort of like just open giving. Yeah, it's great. Yeah, love it.
Yeah. Man, Wayfarer, things beyond.
Things beyond wonder. Yeah, right there. This is our baby. This is the RPG we've been working on for like 12 years now, maybe.
At least.
Maybe a little more. I don't know. Yeah, for a while anyway. Yeah, that was our first Kickstarter, and it was
a fantastic experience. Everything with Wayfarer was great.
Yeah. This is like the game we play we have our Monday game nights, and this is like our RPG.
It's my absolute favorite. Like the other stuff is really fun and I love it all, but Wayfarer is my absolute favorite.
Yeah, same here.
And just through looking at the images that were associated with it just brought to mind, is this like Riffs?
Yeah. So sort of like Riffs. Yeah, it's like Riffs where it doesn't really take place on like a central location, whereas Riffs is like an Earth, right?
We sort of like used I'm gonna get really nerdy for a minute. We sort of used extrapolated string theory in M theory to like hypothesize like brainer areas and different universes, and you can travel to virtually any genre or have any kind of game you want.
It's like our hard sci-fi, but also trying to explain wizards and dragons and stuff.
Exactly.
So, I mean, you know, it basically like it just kind of came out of the fact that like we all have like kind of go in different directions genre wise, and so it was like, all right, well, fine, you can play your Norse barbarian. Our friend Dan can play his like super intelligent plant in a robot suit or whatever, you know, and we'll all just
and Aaron can think of ways to torture us all.
That's right.
Right.
By the way, the images prop to Ingmar and Austin.
Yeah, Ingmar and Austin are artists.
And Cam had some in there,
yeah. And Cam Croft, my sibling, yeah. Yep. Excellent artists. Yeah. Ingmar Fresky and Austin Zaleski.
Okay.
Shout out.
What was I gonna say? It's like one was like Rips, and then another was another genre, and then it's like, wait, there's something sitting in a trash heap in the middle. Like, is this Gamma World? I don't know.
It's just got everything. I mean, you know, it's better to think of it like GURPS. You know, like it's just a universal role playing system, and it's kind of loosely tied together with a multiverse storyline that we use. But it's really just like saying, hey, you can do anything you want with this. You can take any elements and tell whatever story you want.
The strength of Wayfarer, I think, is that it doesn't give you like a pre-made prefab sandbox to play within. It more says, well, this is how you build your own sandbox, and whatever you want to build, there are tools in there to help you build it.
And that specifically is nothing new. I mean, there's
no, not at all.
Both of those things, but what drove us to create this was we wanted a rule set that that sort of represented real world physics, because I don't know, we thought you could get away with that in a role playing game without making it overly complex.
Yeah.
And that's really what drove us to make it. Just every time we play a game, we're always like, it's weird that my character can do this. Like, how can he? Nobody can do that.
Just because I'm a level like 20 ranger doesn't mean I should be able to cut a train in half.
You know, or like, I'm a level 30 thief, so therefore I can jump across the Grand Canyon because my jump skill is high enough. Or whatever, things like that. Like, we just wanted something that was like, we call it a narrative engine because it's like, it's less about like playing to win and succeed as your character, is more of like just a giant, you're like a deific ant farm watcher who's like creating a simulation and watching things play out. And I mean, like watching a television series or something, but the outcome is unpredictable to the person who's running it. That's what it always was to me.
Collaborative, cooperative storytelling.
Yeah, sure.
Okay. Sivas. Tell me about
Sivas?
Oh, Sivas?
Yes.
Yeah.
Sivas, yes. Sorry.
Yeah, that is the chess-like game from Game of Thrones.
Mm-hmm.
And I made that for a friend of mine who's like super, super into the books. I mean, obviously we all are into Game of Thrones. But he's really into it. Yeah, that was a lot of fun to adapt that. I mean, because it's totally unofficial, obviously. I don't have like George R. R. Martin's blessing or anything like that.
Well, let me call George real quick.
But I wanted to make a game that looked like a game that people from the era they're emulating in the show would have made. I've seen a lot of other people have made versions of Sivas, but they always have like kind of like hex grids for the map, and I just don't really see that in an ancient board game.
I mean, if you look at like Nine Men's Morris and Nefertofel, they're almost always orthogonal.
Yeah. I mean, with diagonal movement across like a hex, like a square grid. But I mean, it's just, it also like applying like RPG stats to the characters is something I just wouldn't think they would do in an era like that. So we tried to make it as close to chess as possible, while like he had in an interview like listed a few games that he's like, well, I'm not going to extrapolate on what Sivas would be like, but if you mix chess with, I think it was Stratego, maybe Battlefield was the one, and another one, I can't remember now. But basically, I took elements from all of those and said, okay, well, I've got to incorporate those to some extent. So I had the sort of like secret setup with the screen in the middle of the board, so you can kind of arrange your pieces and tiles without the opponent seeing. Then you remove that. And then play is very, very much a chess-like game with just different abilities.
Yeah, it's one of the few games that we've made that isn't like there's not a luck bit. Really.
No, not really. Yeah, no. I mean,
cards, no dice. Just my pieces do this, your pieces do this.
Yeah. It's the closest to chess I've come.
Yeah.
Or cared to.
Windswept.
Oh yeah, Windswept. We've never actually played Windswept.
So. It was designed like Arian like an afternoon.
Yeah, I did like a Saturday. Somebody commissioned me to make the ship piece, and I was like, oh, this is great. Are you gonna use this in a game? They're like, no, we just want these for this thing we're doing. It's no big deal. And so I was like, okay, well, I gotta make a game around it.
I think I found out about it when he posted it to Thingiverse.
Is that right?
I think so. I was like, oh, you made a new game.
So someday we'll play it and play test it, and that'll be great. I have a copy.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Words of Wisdom.
Oh, Words of Wisdom.
We have played Words of Wisdom.
We have played Words of Wisdom. Words of Wisdom is basically like Candyland and Scrabble.
Yeah.
Yeah? Okay.
Yeah, that's fair.
Put together. So you each play, you each have your pieces like this little guru, and the words you play, Scrabble-ish style, sort of create a road that you're trying to get to the top of the holy mountain, which is in the middle, and you can kind of destroy each other's words and run your road through them, and that's pretty much
Breach.
Breach. Yeah,
I love me some Breach.
Yeah, we have a lot of fun with Breach. Breach is it's like our Pocket Tactics space battle game essentially. Yeah. But it's not super complex like a lot of spaceship battle games. It's more just, you know, we call it Starship Duels because it's best played with like one ship versus one ship, you know, zipping around asteroids and trying to get shit.
But the biggest difference is like it has directional rules between like say like Pocket Tactics and Breach.
Yeah, right,
the biggest difference between those two is Breach has directional rules.
Like the hexes actually matter.
Right. Like what facing you're on with your opponent matters.
We're due for a Breach up. Oh, sorry, go ahead.
Oh, I was just so it's a 2-dimensional, or are there?
Yeah, no, it is 2-dimensional, except we have the system. So all the little hex tiles, little space tiles, have numbers on them, and basically like between 2 and
3 and 5,
2 and 6.
Is that right?
Maybe just 2 and 5. I can't remember because it's been a little while. But basically, you roll a dice for each point of movement you have, and if you get a 5, you can move into a 5. If you get a 4, you can move into a 4. And so,
but if you get a 5 too, you can also move into a 2.
Right. Yeah. Right. But basically, the point is like each tile represents some amount of space. So you know, yeah, it's 2D, but it's also, who knows, you know,
it's representational.
Yeah. I like to think that in the numbers there's some kind of spatial variety.
So we can find you on Thingiverse as well. And again, tell the person that does not know where to find you where you can be found.
Illgottengames.net. Yep. That's the one. That's our website.
Or on Thingiverse, you can look at his stuff at just search Dutchmogul.
One word. DUTCHMOGUL. Yeah.
And then my stuff is Jeremy8077.
Easy to remember.
And there's not quite as many things there.
There's still a lot of things.
There's a lot of things.
Now on Twitter?
I'm at Dutchmogul.
And IGG has its own.
Oh yeah. It's at Illgotten Gamers.
Illgotten Gamers.
Because everything's taken and we're late to the Twitter game.
Right.
So.
And is there anything else that you'd like to speak about?
Potential upcoming Kickstarter, maybe?
Yeah, we have a couple. So one is undetermined at this point. The other is, like we said, our friend Jeff Bowers has created a card game called Alien Architects, where you're a race of aliens coming to Earth to steal its monuments, and it's a lot of fun. Cool, zippy little like 2 to 5, upwards of 5 or 6 people. Yeah, card game. And that's I think that's next.
Yeah,
for sure. Yeah. And our wargame rules was currently Wayfarer Tactics, and it was in its 2nd edition. We're actually rebranding it as Discord now, and that's going to be coming out in the next few days. We'll release like a beta, probably.
Discord's a lot cleaner, and it's very different.
This is our playing card based wargame rules
for miniatures and such.
Yeah. Any scale, any genre. It's just kind of, you know, you want to use your Warhammer or War Machine or Reaper models or your D&D models, whatever.
Knock yourself out.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, how long have you been involved with STL design and 3D print design? Now, you said something about 2012.
Yeah, late 2011.
Yeah, we got our first printer, Replicator 1, in 2011.
No, 12.
Was it 12?
It was 12. Yeah, April 2012. Yeah, and I like found Tinkercad, which is how I kind of got started on it in December of 2011. So, yeah, not that long.
Yeah. I mean, in 3D printing terms, that's a long time, but in actual times, that's not so long.
Right.
Yeah. Oh gosh. So what filament works best for you when you 3D print?
I use ABS generally just because my machine is sort of optimized for it. we like we use a lot of MakerBot stuff, but we have been using a lot of
Hatchbox
and Octave
and what is it, MG Chemical lately?
Is that really good?
Yeah, it's been great.
Yeah.
It's been great. So, but mostly, ABS PLA.
Yeah.
Yeah, unfortunately, with my little machine, I don't have a heated bed, so ABS is out for me.
PLA is better if you can.
Yeah, PLA.
I think
PLA holds detail a little better, I think, but it can also get stringy really fast.
But it's also like the environmentally friendly factor is really cool.
Yeah.
You're not using as much power to because of the not heating the bed, and I mean it's biodegradable.
Yeah,
it's awesome. I mean,
it'll only be there like however many thousands of years instead of tens of thousands of years. Which the fact that we burn plastic for our entertainment is really frustrating for me. But if I'm going to burn plastic for my entertainment, I'd rather burn PLA.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I've already corrupted a friend's compost heap with pieces here and there. So yeah.
But you can, and that's
that's part of the strength of PLA. I mean, ABS, a lot of places, a lot of municipalities won't even recycle it.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. But I mean, ABS has its strengths too. I mean, for pocket tactics, I think it tends to be better just because the tensile strength's a little better on those pieces, so you can bend little axes and spears and stuff.
And so the difference between PLA and ABS really is ABS doesn't really have a true glassing temperature, so it's always sort of pliable, whereas PLA has a very definite glassing temperature and it can be brittle.
Yeah, but you also learn to design around that. I mean, like a lot of the pocket tactic stuff we've been making lately has been sort of designed to be sturdier and stouter. So
yeah. And I feel like ABS does a better job with some of our models are split. So we
cut them in halves and then glue them together.
So to avoid overhangs and such. And I feel like ABS glues together more seamless. That's probably because of the build surface. Because typically, if we're printing ABS, we'll print on Captain, whereas if we're printing PLA, we'll print on blue painter's tape. But some people who print on glass with PLA get almost no seam at all.
Yeah. The heated glass bed is supposed to be like really good.
Yeah, which actually our new printer, which we have a makerspace who kind of gave us printers in exchange for classes, which thanks Mary at the Foundry.
Yeah, absolutely.
We just got an Orion Delta. And it has a heated bed with glass.
Because oh man, I'm hearing my own echo.
Oh, I'm sorry. That's like we don't have headphones. All we have is a microphone, and I can turn you down. Is that super annoying?
No, it's just something that I'm not used to.
Is that better?
Oh, much. Thank you.
Yeah, you bet. Yeah, I have a unidirectional mic, but we like to hear it, so I turned it up maybe a little too loud. Sorry.
No, that's okay. I mean, as long as you can still hear me.
Yeah.
That's all that matters. So, what else was I going to say? How long have you been involved in wargaming and gaming in general, tabletop, as a hobby?
Well, let's see. Arian's going to be 38. So that'll be 38 years.
No, I mean, I think so. My parents wouldn't let me get into that kind of stuff when I was in middle school, through middle school, and then I kind of had to like design my own role playing system. I think I did that in like seventh grade maybe, and so since then, but that got me on the right foot with working with homebrews. So that's I guess that was a good to start. Then I got into Dungeons and Dragons and Vampire and Rifts and Earthdawn and all that stuff.
Oh gosh, yes.
I started playing DC Heroes when I was like 10, and then I played pretty much from that point until the end of high school, and then I sold all of my books to go to Europe. And then when I met Arian and we started hanging out, he what I call woke the dragon, which my wife will just she just loves him for that. So, and I don't know, I've been playing, it's been the last 10 years.
I didn't play DC Heroes. I played Marvel Heroes where they had like the green, yellow, and
red.
Remember that?
Yeah. I played DC Heroes. I did play Marvel Heroes. I played Heroes Unlimited. You know,
I'm not going to list everything I played.
Oh, it'd be forever. But
Yeah.
Kevin Zambito was a big influence for me. I enjoyed all of his games.
Now, would you say that you would prefer tabletop gaming over video games, or
Yes.
vice versa?
Yes, but I love video games too. I mean,
it doesn't diminish the love of video games.
No, I think I have room in my heart for both. Yeah. But,
love is infinite.
But tabletop, yeah. I'm a dinosaur.
And I like books.
Yeah.
Books. What have you been reading?
Well, we have our stuff on PDF, but it's not the same. I like to hold the book.
I know.
It's because I'm old. It's okay.
I don't think it has anything to do with age.
No, I think everyone likes books generally.
Prefers books over PDF.
Yeah, I assume. I don't know. I don't know if we're there yet. I don't know if the singularity has,
Could it hurry up?
Well, what would you say? Do you prefer Star Wars or Star Trek?
Well, if you asked me that like a couple of years ago, I would have said Star Wars, hands down, no question. But I got laid up. I was sick for a while, and I ended up binge watching Star Trek, and so I watched last year. I watched all the Star Treks. So I think it's really hard to say now.
See, I think that's a false dichotomy.
Yeah, I love them both, but I mean, Star Wars. Yeah, I have to. If I absolutely had to.
I actually think that. I prefer Star Wars, but I actually think that Star Trek might be actually culturally more important. Does that make sense? I mean,
oh yes,
boy, that's tough.
I agree with you there.
Yeah, I would rather live in the Star Trek universe.
Oh yeah, no doubt.
If I had to choose, that's for sure.
Can you imagine what we could do with a real replicator?
Oh my gosh, that. I know that there would be many people in the restaurant industry that would be quite upset.
Yeah. Star Wars has cooler aliens, though. I don't know. I can't. It's tough. It's tough.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. No.
Well, let's see. I'm going to ask you both individually. Jeremy, if you could have one superpower, what would it be and why? Only one.
Boy.
Don't steal mine, because I know what I want.
It's probably the same thing, but I'd want to be immortal.
Yeah, that was my answer.
Period. End of story. Because I can figure out anything else. Yeah. Like I can figure out how to fly. I can figure out how to have laser vision, right? Like I can figure all those things out. But the one thing that I couldn't figure out is how to just keep living forever.
Yeah, I'd rather be a Vandal Savage than a Superman. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. I mean, a good Vandal Savage. Yeah.
Well, an okay Vandal Savage.
And I'm gonna have to say that's the first time I've heard that one.
Really? Huh.
Yeah.
Oh man.
The last two have been very, very interesting. And
what were they?
Yours is the first immortal.
Huh.
The last one was the power to heal.
That's
I could do that. I could do that.
That could conceivably be like immortality plus.
But like if you give me enough time, I will figure out how to cure what ails you.
That's true too. Yeah, most likely.
It's just
that or the heat death of the universe.
Yeah,
whichever one happens first.
It's the monkey with the typewriter theory. Eventually, I'll get it right.
Yeah. Now you both have kind of touched on this a little bit. Marvel or DC?
Marvel.
Right now, Marvel.
Right now, Marvel. But I got to tell you, because I was pretty turned off by the DC movies, but
man, the CW shows.
We kind of love the CW shows right now.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like what it is to me is it's like Batman '66 for our current current era.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean. Those are just so much fun, but I do love Marvel though. Yeah, I'll go. I go Marvel. I lean Marvel. I'm gonna lean Marvel.
Yeah, me too.
I agree with you guys there. Sci-fi or fantasy?
You're
killing me.
Sci-fi.
Fantasy.
I could just say sci-fi, fantasy, or space opera, but that's okay. That kind of covers the space opera is both ish.
Yeah.
I just like big things that beat each other up. You know.
Whereas I have a more refined palette.
Right.
So, you know.
Kaiju Rising. Okay. So we've got
Godzilla, King Kong, best movie ever made.
Sorry, what?
So we've got Jeremy with sci-fi and Arian with fantasy.
Other way
around, yeah.
Other way.
Sci-fi.
Okay. There we go.
Yeah.
All right.
Well, you didn't even say horror because then, you know.
I'd still go fantasy.
Yeah.
But I don't like super magic rich fantasy. I like it when magic is like sacred, you know, and it means something, and not every person can just cast a spell.
Yeah, I like low magic fantasy. Yeah. But I also sci-fi if I had to choose. I mean, yeah. It's hard.
Well, because in sci-fi you can incorporate everything. You can have fantasy elements in sci-fi.
Kind of.
It's not the same.
I mean, not.
I mean, it's
not
not the same.
Not in the hard
It's not the
sci-fi.
same.
Yeah, it's yeah. But yeah.
That's
a really tough one.
I am just going to go along with the whole Star Wars is more of a.
It's a fantasy. Yeah.
Opera.
Yeah.
And
sci-fi.
Star Trek is more of a hard sci-fi. Like there's an explanation for the things, and it's not just space magic.
Yeah. Well, except when they pack with the Heisenberg compensators and you know all that.
How does the Heisenberg compensator work?
Yeah, and like not hammering down warp speeds and what they really mean between shows. And, but you know, I mean, yeah. But at its core, though, it is speculative sci-fi for sure. Yeah. Like no question. Star Wars is not speculative,
and at least they give you some explanation.
Yeah, I mean, the Star Wars doesn't need it though, because Star Wars is fantasy and space. That's
there's straight up magic.
Yeah, right.
Well, Dune.
Yeah, Dune is kind of a nice blend, right? Yep. Yeah. Which we're getting a new Dune movie, right?
Space magic to me. Yeah.
Yeah, that's exciting. Yeah.
So is there anything?
What about you though? Star Wars, Star Trek.
Oh, me, Star Trek.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Fantasy, sci-fi.
For me, it would have to fantasy. Yeah. For me.
Not taking no love from sci-fi.
No, I love Clark just like the next person. I loved the Dune series until I stuck with it through Children of Dune, and then it just kind of.
Is like God Emperor the one after that? I don't remember.
I don't remember either.
Yeah, I don't know.
I need to revisit the series. It's been years.
Yeah.
But is there any other things that you would like to share? Like, what have been your favorite books lately that are not RPG related? Like fiction, horror.
I don't have time to read, but I mean, I wish I did. But I really want to get the new Neil Gaiman Norse mythology story collection. That's the one that's on my list right now, and I'm sure it's good. I'm sure it's amazing. So, because
I'm reading Bernie's book. His latest book. I just started it. I got it for Christmas. It's amazing.
Cool.
Yeah.
So any interesting movies that you'd like to recommend?
That's like walk into a CD store and you go, what am I gonna get?
Is there anything good here?
You remember CD stores?
Yeah. Black Rainbow.
Lately though, I mean, what have I seen?
Like new releases or any time?
Just any, all of cinema.
Wow.
All of cinema. Black Orpheus was on my mind the other day. That's one of my favorites, my all-time favorites. I think I'm gonna watch that again. Mad Max Fury Road. I don't know if you've heard of this film, but it's pretty excellent.
My favorite movie is Until the End of the World.
Yeah, Until the End of the World.
I think Until the End of the World is just great.
Which is getting it's getting like a big, I think, Criterion Collection re-release with like all the like 6 deleted hours.
Yeah. There's like an 8 hours.
Yeah.
An 8 hour long version, which I would love. Everyone else would fall asleep.
Yeah. I watch a lot more TV than movies these days. I just binge watch. Yeah.
So, again, just once more, where can we find you wonderful gentlemen on the internet?
illgottengames.net
Thingiverse.
and thingiverse.com. Yep, you can find us there.
Excellent. Is there anything else that you'd like to add or speak about?
No, not really.
Not related to gaming in any way.
Right.
Okay. Well, again, this is Leah Bond with Legends of Tabletop. And thank you for joining us, listening to these wonderful gentlemen from illgottengames.net, Arian Croft and Jeremy Larson. Thank you very much, gentlemen. You have a wonderful evening, and we'll see you next time.